This is the Ridiculously Amazing Insurance Agent podcast hosted by me, Kelly Donahue-Piro. This show is for growing agencies looking to maximize their biggest investment, their people. We mash up our 3-minute videos from the previous week, all with tips on how to be ridiculously amazing at insurance sales, retention, processes, marketing, running in an agency, and time management. If you want them daily, like us on social media as they're posted. But let's get started. Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining our 3-minute video mashup. This is the 4 time management strategies that we picked on today because we're in the middle of our launch of our remodeled, revamped time management course that I hope that you really will take advantage of. Again, only a few days left, and this is the only time that we're going to be purchasing it, that you can buy it independently. Other than that, after this, you can only buy it by subscribing to our school. So, this is a huge time. I just think time management is something we're never taught well enough, and it's got to be a continuous practice, sort of like being a salesperson, is that, you can always get better at it. I love time management, and yet I still catch myself sometimes being like, I shouldn't be doing this right now. So if you're anything like me and just trying to find a little bit more time in your day, trying to find ways to be a little bit less stressed, this is the solution for you. So without further ado, I'm going to let everybody hop on in, and we're going to get to the 4 videos that we came up with this week on time management. If any of you have been watching our videos for a long time, you know my feelings on email, and I can't stand it personally. I wish email was never created, and I know the second it went away, I would probably miss it greatly, but it's an addiction. And honestly, our biggest message in this email is not a destination. The email should not stay in your inbox. It should be a landing pad. They come in and they have to go somewhere. It is not someplace that you should have thousands of emails. Your email should be efficient and effective, because if you win the lottery at lunch, anybody should be able to help that client. Your email should not be a database. And so many people struggle with this for a variety of different reasons. I hope that you check out our podcasts. We did 3 podcasts this month on Hawksoft Epic and AMS 360, all with time management strategies. And each and every one of those trainers hits on how to use email effectively. So you might be holding onto email like a crutch, a little binky, a blankie. I get it. But in order to truly master your time, you got to get out of email. And that's what we cover in this video. So if any of you have followed us for a long time, one of the things that you've probably learned is that we're very passionate about email management, especially as a time management strategy. And the reason we are is that so many people have never learned how to use email effectively or efficiently, and it's time to fix that. So a couple things I want to say to everybody about email, and we go in this in depth, not only how to manage your email, how to get you cleaned up, and how to stay in the right zone in our new time management course. But the first thing is, email is a landing pad, not a destination. We should not have hundreds, thousands of emails in our inbox. That is the wrong place for them. They either need to be in a folder, but ultimately they need to be attached in the management system. And this allows us then to not work from our email, but to work from the system. In insurance, we have 5, 6, 7 places we get our work, whether it's mail, email, suspenses or tasks, faxes, meetings, call-ins. All these places are spinning around. We need to take all of them and get them into one central location, which is the management system. This allows us to work in the management system because our priorities change all day long. What was important in the morning is now different in the afternoon. If you're using your system correctly, you will reprioritize that all day. So, as things come and go, you can put priority levels and due dates. So it helps you stay organized. But ultimately, we want to get down to no more than 10 emails in your inbox by the time you leave, and actually 0 on Friday. And the reason that is that if you win the lottery over the weekend, no one should have to scramble through your email to figure out what's going on. In addition, you will see such a change in your demeanor and how much better you feel not being bogged down with so much email. But for many agents, they feel like, I got to attach it. It takes so long in the management system. But that could be because you don't understand the most efficient ways to use your system. We interviewed an Epic trainer, AMS 360, and Hawksoft trainer, and found that there's tons of different little hacks that you can use to speed that process up. So we may have to slow down to speed up, but once you learn it, you can get much more efficient. But email is a challenge. Just think about what happens when someone calls out for the day. It's usually a drama session because we're scanning through hundreds of emails in their inbox. And that's just not a way to live. So if you want more tips like this, definitely check out our time management course. We're doing a one-time only. You can buy it outright or you subscribe in our pack for $245 a month. But we're doing a special only till the end of April 2021. So make sure you hop on it. We'll see you soon. I love talking about time blocking when we onboard agencies to our agency time management plan. Because time blocking is always one of these squishy subjects where it's like, well, it worked, we tried it, it didn't work. And I always say a lot of agencies have just never done it successfully. It's like quoting over the phone or really trying to get some standards going. And so what we want to do is make sure we're always focused on how do we make this happen. And we make time blocking happen by making it an agency-wide thing. It can't just be one person or one department. Everybody has to respect the time block. It is a meeting with yourself to do the highest level focused work for our customers. And if we can't get that down pat, I can tell you what happens is, one, the person has to hold the boundaries. The agency has to respect the boundaries. And when the producer or owner comes by and they see a sign on someone's desk, they have to move on as well. It really does take about 30 days to get under control with some commitment. But the agencies that haven't successfully done it, I can tell you, they still love talking about how busy they are and how stressed out they are. And you can make time blocking work with the right solutions, which we go over in our time management class, but you get the 3-minute version right here next up in this video. So in this 3-minute video, we're going to talk more about time blocking and in particular, how to make it work for your agency. So for many insurance agencies, they've thought about time blocking, but maybe just couldn't get it to work. And what time blocking is setting a meeting with yourself, basically. That means that you set aside a point in time in the day to maybe focus on quotes or focus on follow-up for quotes or remarkets. And why this is so important is that if you can set aside that time uninterrupted, no meetings, no calls, you shut down your email, you really can get a lot more done. Now, the challenge we run into is a lot of times people can't honor that. They get stuck in their email or a producer comes in and they say hello. In order for time blocking to work, is you really have to be strong on it. And you have to set up those boundaries. And it may feel hard in the beginning, but trust me, it does get easier. The benefits to time blocking are that you have this space to do complicated matters. This reduces mistakes. This reduces employee stress because they're not trying to figure out, when am I going to do this? How am I going to fit it in? It increases the client experience because team members can say, hey, you know what? My time block is Wednesday. I'm going to get this to you by Thursday morning. And they know that they have the time associated to do it. When you're a frontline employee, it can be like the Wild West. You just don't know who's going to call in next, what's going to come at you. And so those bigger tasks that are part of the role can often get pushed aside or bumped around, and we just don't feel comfortable of when we're going to get to it. But inevitably, time blocking can go really wrong. When we work with agencies, people say, oh, we tried that, it didn't work for us. And I say, well, you got to outlast the suck. Sometimes it doesn't work because people forget to take it. Some people just like being busy and they feel like, hey, if I have this time block, I might get something done. I know that sounds crazy, but I've seen it. The other thing is not everybody respects the time block. So we decide we're going to do a time block and the owner comes by and says, hey, can you help me with this? As opposed to saying it's your time block, I'll wait. And so there's a lot of things as you get organized around time blocks that have to happen. And it really has to be the whole agency being involved. The front desk person has to know that's their time block. There's no calls coming in. Somebody else has to help. So it encourages a lot of really good habit building, but as anything in the beginning, it can be really, really tough. So one of the things I really encourage everybody to do is to give it 30 days and work towards getting organized. Don't expect it to be a light switch and say, oh, it works. I remember working with one agency where they would talk about how backlogged they are. And so everybody got a block of time to focus and they just couldn't do it. We get on meetings, oh, I forgot. Yeah, well, that wasn't a good time for me. And it was all the reasons. And I'm going to encourage you to say, fight through that stuff and make decisions because it is worth it. Your agency should make it work because your customers deserve it. And your team deserves not to have that level of stress of trying to fit everything in. And it may take a little finesse, may take a few trial and errors, but you should all try to get there. And that's something we actually cover and help hold your hand through during our Apex time management course. So if you're interested in learning more how to move from busy to efficient, that's the course for you. Make sure you check it out at the end of this video in our ad. So one of the things that's always driven me nuts about being in the insurance space was that ever since I was 18, I heard the same thing. I'm so busy. And in over 20 years, no one's been able to solve that problem until now. I'm going to help your agency move from busy to productive and find more time in your day to reduce stress and improve your client's experience. Because you see your team running around all day and they seem stressed and overwhelmed. Every day for years, you've been hearing how busy people are, just like I was. But the phone records and activities tell a different story some days. You aren't sure what to do. You don't want your team feeling this way, right? What almost no agency understands is how to move their team from busy to productive and find minutes that add up to hours in their day. It's not just focusing on more people, it's making the people you have more productive. This can all happen when your agency has a plan to manage time and training with the right approach. So if you're tired of hearing how busy everyone is, but no one seems to have a plan except to hire more people, do you ask how you can help your team and they just give you that stare? I don't know, I'm just so busy. Your agency needs a different approach that engages the team and gives them a clear plan with expectations. This helps the agency embrace a time management strategy that simplifies everything, empowers everyone to succeed. This, of course, changes everything. So if you're sitting at team meetings with more questions and answers, and you're excited to bring new ideas to the agency, but it's always met with resistance, and the team is always saying how busy they are, but no one has a plan, including you, the leader, you may have something on your mind. And that's what we did. We had something on our mind and we created Apex Time Management. Apex Time Management is actually a 6-month program that I personally install into agencies, but it was time for a remodel. And part of that remodel is we're going to be selling it for one time only for 2 weeks as a standalone course in our online university. So you can empower your team to do it directly, right away, right now. We, of course, included in our agency performance pack, which is a subscription for training. So if you want that and retention and sales and how to reduce remarketing, as well as new courses every quarter, we got you covered. But there's no sense in dilly-dallying. Let's go ahead and get to our website, agencyperformancepartners.com, where you can check out the new Apex Time Management Performance Pack. And while you're there, check out our shop. What's going to hurt? We might just have other tips and tools. But I'm here to help you solve the problem of busy, move your team to productive, all with online training that is interactive and makes a big difference when applied. So, who wants to get started? We're doing it at 20% off until the end of April 2021. So, get started, give us a call. We'd love to help you move from busy to productive. There's a funny statement where whenever I go into agencies, people are always like, you're here and it's not as busy as it normally is. And I'm always like, isn't that funny? I have some mysterious power to make the phones ring less. Not. The idea is, though, for so many agencies, for so many agents, is that we're on a time tidal wave. The work comes crashing all in, and then the tidal wave comes back. We get to catch up, and it comes crashing in. And those moments, it's stressful. But we're not the only job in the world that has this. Think of an ER nurse on Friday night during spring break. Things get a little cray-cray, right? But they have plans. And that's one of the things that we don't have in insurance is we typically don't have a plan of what to do when it gets crazy. And that's what this video is about, is saying, hey, identify the wave and then say, hey, our plan A is this, but we're going to plan B today because we're getting slammed. And when you do that, you can reduce the stress because everybody knows what to do. It's the same thing in ER. When there's an influx of patients, they don't operate the ER the same way. But yet we try to operate an insurance agency the same way. And that's a recipe for disaster. So watch this video to learn about how you can ride the time tidal wave. Hey everyone. So I'm just curious, have you ever been on the time tidal wave? And what this means is you are sitting there and it is nuts at the agency. The phone's ringing, the emails are coming in, customers are calling, all the things are happening. And you've got a choice in that moment. You're either going to ride the time tidal wave to, an epic, cowabunga dude, or it's going to crush you. And we talk about the time tidal wave as a positive thing. Like, you can have fun when it's nuts in the agency. You can be like, right in the zone, killing it. Or you can be like, oh my gosh, it's so busy. And a lot of us take that, oh my gosh, it's so busy zone, as opposed to really trying to ride the time tidal wave. Because here's what you know about a time tidal wave, right? It's going crazy, it's going crazy, it's going crazy. The wave crashes and then it gets easy enough for you to catch back up. And you got to ride the wave again, and then it gets easy to get caught back up. And so our strategy really, really needs to be focusing on how do we ride the wave and make the most of those times when it's catching up. But so much of it's going to be mental in your attitude, where if you are stressed and frustrated when it's going crazy, your customers are going to feel that, and that's not a good look. What I want from everybody to do, though, is think through this and really, really be part of something special. Think about your plan A and your plan Bs, right? We talk about that in time management. Plan A is to be here, but when we hit critical mass, a certain number of phone calls every day, a certain number of new business quotes, math needs to drive the tidal wave. We need to go to a plan B, and that should all be mapped out before and in advance of a tidal wave hitting. You know, when tidal waves hit land, oftentimes it's pure chaos. But if you're someplace where tidal waves have hit before, you know what to do and you have a plan. In insurance, unfortunately, we get smacked with the time tidal waves so often, and we don't have a plan, that what ends up happening is we end up in chaos all the time. And that's something we need to stop, which is why I'm so passionate about our new time management plan. Make sure you check it out, make sure you tell your friends, and make sure you take time management seriously. We don't need to be walking around all day with our shoulders up to our ears, stressed out, going crazy, when there are better ways if we just slow down a bit and learn ways to manage our day. Thanks so much, and hopefully you're not on the time tidal wave today. You're prepped and ready to ride the wave like a surfer. Since in this video series this week, we're all about efficiency, we wanted to smush down the top 3 time management strategies anybody can do that, you could start tomorrow. You might not like them, but hey, I don't like push-ups or burpees, but I do them and they work. And we did this to smush it down to say, hey, we know we've done, 8 different topics on time management. We have this course. We don't want to overwhelm you. If you just want to say, give me a baby step, Kelly, this is a video for you where we go the top 3 strategies and a little bonus I throw in there just because, I can't help myself. But you have to check this out. And just remember, you can buy our time management course and get started anytime and go at your own pace, which I think is huge for agencies. So listen to our top 3 so that you can become ridiculously amazing. I'm nauseous. I'm tired. Great. Go to bed. You got to have a plan associated with these feelings. Until now, we are literally fixing this for the insurance agency. And if your agency is as sick and tired of hearing that as I am, and you're ready to change, we have the course for you. But if you're not ready yet, you're thinking, I'm going to toe dip, I'm going to continue being busy because if I say I'm busy, then I don't have to do these other things like cross-sell or call customers for renewal reviews because we're so busy. I don't have to learn new technology. And that is definitely thinking from a mindset of scarcity rather than abundance. So let's go through our top 3 tips. Number 1, email. Email is a landing pad, not a destination. Email should not move in. Email should not be making themselves comfortable in your inbox. They come in, we look at them, and we get them into the management system with a task, activity, suspense, whatever your system's code word is. If it does not belong in there, it goes into a folder. But if you listen to the podcast we've been doing for AMS 360, Epic, and Hawksoft, you will hear how to make your email work so everything beautifully attaches and everybody can see everything seamlessly. But when I see emails, thousands of emails, hundreds of emails and inboxes, I literally get the jitters because you're disorganized, you're searching, and you're going to forget something and you're gonna miss something, and that is not acceptable. We can be better by that by using our technology, which means we have to slow down to speed up. Next, super important, is your management system needs to power your day. That should be where you're going to get work. No more notepads with to-do lists. That to-do list needs to be fluid and change all day long depending what comes in. So if you have a written to-do list, it is garbage. It is useless. It's archaic. And literally, it has no place in an agency when you have a management system, because we should be operating like we're going to win the lottery at lunch, which means that I could walk out and go to my airplane to Bora Bora, and every single client wouldn't have a mistake, a mishap, a missed expectation, because integrity is doing that. And it's selfish if we're not doing that, because no one can help a client and a client can't get the best of our experience. But you should be operating from your to-do list, not your email, not a separate to-do list. Your management system has a to-do list in it, which is the most important thing. And it will keep recalculating what is important for you to focus on that day. More importantly, if it's that busy day, which that's a whole nother videos, I've done a million of them of, I hate the word busy. It's a busy day and the manager sees it's a busy day, They can log in and figure out how to get help, how to get the work done, or prioritize the most important things. So you don't have to think about it. But we fill our day up all with the stupid stuff, the 2-minute stuff. The big stuff sits and grows, causes stress. Our shoulders go up to our earlobes, and then we're sitting there freaking out. And it doesn't have to be that way. Third tip, first call resolution. Please, people, practice this if you can. Client calls in to change a vehicle. Do it on the phone, including documentation, so you're clean and you can do the next call. You can quote over the phone. In our course, we actually do a live quote where I get quoted over the phone, and you can see how simple and easy it is if we practice it and we get good at it. And that is something in the course where we actually walk you through 5 steps towards working in baby steps to quoting over the phone. But here's the thing, that's what people want. And we make mistakes. We have to call people back. That gets messy, icky, time management, not good when we have to do that. So do yourself a favor and start embracing that. And the last one that I'm going to give you guys is this. And I think that this is so huge. And it's something that it's hard to talk about, let's be honest, is that your responsibility to your employer is to show up the best you every day. Every single day. That doesn't mean that Monday comes and you start doing chats on your team chat. Oh, another Monday. Come on, please, people. That doesn't mean you come in dragging in like what the cat dragged in because you didn't sleep well last night. Get your sleep habits under control. That means you take care of yourself so that you are the best you for you and your clients. You feel great, the clients are going to get taken care of. If you have personal issues, you need to figure out how to leave them at that door jamb, which might mean turning your cell phone off. Throwing that cell phone in a drawer. So whatever personal issues you have, you stay front and focus on the client. I've had quite a few personal issues in my life. Things that you wouldn't even believe if you ever had a glass of wine with me. And the deal was this, every time I walked into that agency, when these things were happening, and some of them, I'm telling you right now, were very, very, very horrible to have to deal with. It didn't matter. They were gonna be waiting for me right there when I got out, okay? That's not something that we should be doing. Come in, you leave your personal problems at the door. That means cell phone use goes away. You are the best you ever for your clients. But if you want to come in on Monday, you want to come in hoodies and everything else to the agency because it's just, it's a day. How is that even a thing? We're a professional organization. We're protecting what people work hard for. You need to show up your best you ever every day. And if it's not, maybe you need to take a personal day. Just saying. So that's my bonus tip for everybody. But check that out. We cover all this and so much more. And the nice thing about the online school is you do it at your pace and your leisure. So if there's a topic that's important, go there. If there's something that you want to do, like we're going to do it every 2 weeks with the team, your depth of knowledge on time management is going to explode. And let me tell you something. Who else is solving this problem of time in an insurance agency? Because I don't know many people. So take us up on this opportunity to really master time in your agency, empower your team, and get there a lot faster than trying to hear for another 20 years about how busy everybody is. That's our tips. We'll talk to you soon. Well, that is our recap on the top 4 time management strategies for this week. We really hope that you've enjoyed them and that you embrace them. It's incredibly critical that we, one, take care of our team to make sure that they're not getting burned out. But we also recognize that a lot of times we're our own worst enemy with time, and we need to find better ways to manage it. So if you're in that bucket, please check out our time management course. The launch of this is almost running out, where you can buy it standalone or you can subscribe in our school. But we want you to be one of our newest students and one of the newest agencies to release the word busy, move from busy to productive, and really find more time in the day to love and serve your customer. Thank you so much. Have a great day.